Welcome into the premiere of a brand new show. Did you hear about blank? Well, we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. No sports. We do sports all the time. This is just pop culture, what's going on in the world. Enjoy. The only person that could join me, Chucky Taco himself, Michael Kinslow. What's up, dude?
Not much, man. Recovering from
the Super Bowl.
Dude, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Recovering from my nasty spell of sickness, but I'm feeling good.
Much better.
I'm feeling good today.
You were good enough to stream last night, so yeah. I figured hopes were high.
The migraine that I had finally died off after the copious amounts of painkillers and caffeine and just whatever I could think of to make it go away. I think they finally all kicked into gear at like 9 o'clock was finally when I was just out of bed, oh, okay, I can actually survive right now.
Dope. Well, let's see. Well, it is Super Bowl Sunday, so a big thing are the commercials, and I'm honestly probably more hyped for the commercials than I am the game. I mean, the game's probably going to go the way we all think it's going to go. You can hear our picks on this week's recent episode of Consistently Inconsistent Sports. I picked the Rams just because I couldn't deal with listening to a podcast where 3 people picked the Patriots, so I wasn't going to make one. But the commercials, man, we got movies. We got this Hobbs and Shaw where it's Fast and the Furious presents. It's like a Star Wars story, but for Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, right. Have you seen The Rock's Twitter and Instagram pages for the last weeks about this? I mean,
I'm sure it's just nice cars, big cars.
It's that, and then it's cars. Big. It's him, and he's really pushing the Samoan side of it,
right? Because his somebody's gonna play his brother, right? Yeah. Isn't Roman Reigns gonna play his brother?
Yeah, so he's gonna have Shaw or Hobbs is gonna have his brother in the movie, not his actual brother, obviously, but he's playing his brother. But there's this crazy scene where they actually do the haka or something in it.
And he's gonna go full haka, and
it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson, full blown, just that Dwayne the Rock Johnson. So
okay. So that'll get you in the seats. And Jason Statham. Oh, and how are we going to get people in this movie? Idris Elba's the villain, and he has superpowers. Okay, cool, great, awesome.
Yeah.
Any other? Let's see what movies are coming out. We're probably going to get an Avengers Endgame trailer, right?
Yeah, I would hope so. It's coming out next year, right?
This year. It's in April.
Yeah, this year, officially. We might get a Game of Thrones teaser.
Dude, if there's a Game of Thrones trailer, that'd be insane.
Yeah.
What if there's a Game of Thrones trailer? I hadn't even thought of that. I'm not mentally prepared for that.
Yeah, right.
We can get Ben in here.
Yeah, and he just finally replied to me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you got a link you can put in the chat, or so I can hit him
email? What's his email? Here. Oh, wait. Here's the link.
If you got a link that works, otherwise I'll get his email. I think it's bhepner@gmail.com, but I'm not 100%.
It's in the chat.
Got it.
Game of Thrones would be crazy. That would be insane.
I think officially we have 70 days left until Game of Thrones. I think it's somewhere right around there.
It's April. It comes back April. It's actually the same weekend as Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, snap.
You want to get in on this Thrones talk?
Game of Thrones? I don't watch it.
Okay. Well.
All right, so Ben, there's this thing my sister sent me on Twitter yesterday, actually. For people who have never watched Game of Thrones, it actually started last weekend. But if you watch 2 episodes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every weekend up until the premiere, you can get through the entirety of it.
Let me clarify. I've watched up to where she goes to the city with the slavers and gets her own army.
Okay, so you've seen when she burns the slave owner after she takes the slave, and you stopped watching after that?
So it wasn't that I stopped watching; it was that HBO Go ran out.
Oh, that'll do it. I remember doing some stat right when the show started up that it was the most pirated show of all time.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure if you went to the Pirate Bay, when it first started, the top pirated thing would probably be Game of Thrones every week.
Yeah, 100%.
And Ben, I am willing to give you my HBO Go login for you to catch up.
All right,
That's
down.
how much I want you to be caught up.
Maybe this will just turn
I
like a
think
Game of Thrones show.
I think I only have like 2 seasons that I have to catch up with.
And that's not bad. You could do that, no problem.
Considering I watch entire seasons of anime in like a weekend, yeah.
Yeah, I just did that with Dragon Ball Super. I had read up to.
So you could catch up for good old Broly.
Well, see, I didn't watch the sub. I'm caught up on the dub. I can't do sub Goku. Sub Goku is like literally
got
sounds
awful
like
voice
that.
acting.
Yeah,
They have like a 14-year-old girl to be Goku, and he's supposed to be the most powerful person in the universe.
I just can't. I can't tolerate it.
It's like the same voice actor as Ash Ketchum.
Because every time a new game comes out, the trailer's always in Japanese first, and I'm like, oh, cool, a new Dragon Ball game. Maybe I'll actually play this one. No, like I'm out. I check out like immediately.
Right there. Looks all right. Next year.
The only show that's actually been able to like convert me from watching the dub first and then the sub was Attack on Titan is so good. There was no way I could wait for the dubs.
100%. Attack on Titan was just so good.
But if there was an Attack on Titan trailer during the Super Bowl, if this was the biggest sport in Japan, there would be an Attack on Titan trailer because I'm pretty sure it comes back in like October, right?
You gotta. The season finished. Yeah, I want to say
it finished, so we should get it like November, October time.
Because I think they said they were gonna release. It wasn't gonna take as long to release this next season.
That's what blew me away is that I watched the first season. It's like 22 episodes.
Yeah.
And then the second and third season, like 13, and then we're gonna release it in a worse strategy than Rick and Morty and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Somehow they were gonna find a way to make people want a show more than that.
Yeah, the show is like, if I ever like recommend anime to people, it's definitely like one of the starter shows that I come up with.
That and Cowboy Bebop.
Like Cowboy Bebop. They're very like casual. Like the story, like there's a lot of depth to it, but like it's easy enough to follow through. Just like if you just watch along, you don't have to like know any deep backstory type stuff for it. And plus, it's really engaging story, so a lot of people really like it.
I love it. That whole last season, I was just, and I walk into Barnes and Noble every time, and I see the answers. I see what's gonna happen next, but I don't pick it up every time. Yep. I just want to see what happens because I mean I've heard that they also add stuff for the anime.
So, well, it's not really like so they leave stuff out. Of like stuff that would be like in the source material manga, but they'll leave stuff out, and then they'll have things that they will add specifically to the anime. So like they'll leave stuff out and add stuff.
Okay.
So like
they make it better. It's like I had no problem with. I loved Ready Player One, the adaptation, because the writer of the book wrote the screenplay for the movie. It was like, this is approved. Like, I did this. This is fine. This is what I want. It's like if you got a second draft at it, but you were like, what if you made this as a movie? They were like, yeah, I'd probably like to add some things. And there's definitely some things in that manga that don't play to television very well.
Did J.K. Rowling have any say in the Harry Potter movie scripts?
Yeah.
She had final say over all scripts, and she's written, I'm pretty sure she's in, Guy can correct me if I'm wrong, my girlfriend, but is J.K. Rowling wrote the Fantastic Beasts movies? Yeah, she's co-writer on all the new ones too. So she's
and then that was like a follow-up would be like, was whoever is currently the owner of the Tolkien, media base for like Lord of the Rings? I mean,
the estate.
Did the estate have any say in that? Because obviously
we don't want that to happen.
Obviously, Tolkien isn't around to do it, but
I know that
his son tried to write a book. It was god awful.
Right.
He tried to do like a continuation afterwards after Lord of the Rings. Wasn't
that the Silmarillion?
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, the Silmarillion is it's not a continuation. It's like the Bible of all places.
I read a story, and it might not have been the Silmarillion, but it was a Tolkien novel where like Saruman like comes to the Shire like later in life and like causes trouble for everyone, and the only people that can stop him are Merry and Pippin. And I was reading this in like 6th grade. I was like, "What is this garbage? Like, who approved this?"
Because like the Silmarillion is like explains all the backstory.
It fleshes out Aragorn more too.
Yeah, it goes about the like where the elves come from, like where they're going. Like it talks about that kind of stuff,
which is all super interesting. I'm down for that. But more trailers. I mean, I'd like to see Endgame. I'm also super excited to see an Aladdin trailer that shows the genie.
I am also excited, but I mean, who's gonna match up against Robin Williams, man? Like,
it's true. I've heard the term cautiously optimistic.
I've heard Will Smith is the genie.
Yes, Will Smith is indeed the genie.
Yeah, I heard that. And
if Will Smith is the genie, it'll at least be humorous. Like
at least,
you can almost
if it's half as good as that YouTube Rewind video that they made with Will Smith, you know, it has to be absolute comedic gold.
Oh, that one that he did with the I saw that.
The YouTube Rewind was awful, but it was funny.
Yeah. He's it's got a chance. I mean, I'm kind of okay with it just in the sense of like this is what Disney's doing.
Yeah.
Like this is what they're doing now. We kind of have to deal with it. They're remaking all the movies, so you're either on board or just
you don't see the good part about them is like they have the stories. It's not like they have to do anything new. Like they're just hiring actors to do it live action now.
And then like we just mentioned with Attack on Titan, adding things to a live action version that you couldn't do a cartoon and add some depth to it.
Yeah. Like when I watched the Jungle Book, that was legitimately the Jungle Book's live action remake that they did was I don't think I would have let like a kid watch that just because it was
it was a little darker. Yeah,
it was especially when they got to like the Monkey King, it just got a little bit more scary rather than like it was. I would say
instead of like the songs, like,
except it was Christopher Walken, so it was. One walk like you, talk like you. Like it was great.
Exactly.
there's I don't know if I've ever told you. Have you ever watched the video, Colin, of Dave Grohl explaining his interaction with Walken on Saturday Night Live?
No.
So apparently Christopher Walken comes up to Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters, and he's like, "All right, do you put the emphasis on Foo or on fighters?" Right? And
Foo Fighters.
And he's like, "It's definitely on fighters."
Fighters.
So then Christopher Walken, when he goes out, he's like, "Introducing the Foo Fighters."
The Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters.
Such a good thing.
That's great. Oh, then also another remake. They're going to do Dumbo. They're doing Dumbo. Dumbo's coming out.
I did see that. I've seen a couple clips from that.
Are we going to get?
Tim Burton's making it, so give it a shot. I give Tim Burton a shot until he lets me down halfway through the film.
You think Toy Story 4 trailers?
Maybe.
I think that's coming out during the Super Bowl, 100%.
Yeah, and then also The Lion King. I've heard that Disney's bought up a lot of airtime. Like a lot of the things you're going to see are for Disney.
Super Bowl. Also, did you hear that Maroon 5 is including?
We did a whole thing on Thursday. On our show on Thursday. It was awesome.
So excited.
If I really want Travis Scott to just come out and do the whole thing, like if they just let him come out.
Well, that's not going to happen because Travis Scott is just he's
there.
Well,
he's going to be at the halftime show. He's going to be playing during the halftime show.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think Maroon 5 will give up their playtime for it though.
Well, it's going to happen, so I'd like them all to be. Well, it'd be cool if they were all doing it. Like if they ended with that, or if SpongeBob actually comes out of the ground, because that stadium is the most state-of-the-art stadium on the planet.
It'd be lit, 100%. As long as they don't have like another Left Shark situation.
Yeah. I am worried about the roof being retracted over and over again because Michael and I watched enough tennis tournaments to know that's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
And they're going to leave it open for all of the pregame festivities, let the flyby happen, and then they're going to close it afterwards.
Yeah.
Might be. Hopefully it's faster than some of the other stadiums that we've seen. I mean, we watched a few videos on it, but every time you watch a video on how that roof like works, it's always fast forwarded. You can tell it's fast forwarded.
Of course.
Because they're not going to make a 20-minute video of them closing a room.
Right. So when you said that, I mean, I think one of the things I heard, I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast last night. They were talking about the Super Bowl. And it was, I mean, Tom Brady's going to go in there at halftime. And he said the biggest thing he's learned, I mean, now this is like his 9th Super Bowl, is the halftime is so long.
Yeah.
How do you deal with, like, you know, keep
freezing up? And,
not cramps. Like it's the mental state. Like how you, like, you're all juiced up and then you're just chilling for like 35, 40 minutes. Like,
yeah. They
don't take you to a practice field. You just go sit in the locker room and hang out with the guys and smell for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Right. Can you imagine sitting next to Stinky Vince Wilfork after a half a play?
Oh, in the locker room. Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh are sitting next to each other. You're like, get me out of here, man.
Right. Dude, all right. What about Captain Marvel trailer?
It comes out in a month. I don't want anything else.
That's true.
I feel like I'm kind of like seeing everything I want to see from it.
See, yeah, the reason I don't want anything more is because I feel like if they show any more, they're just going to start spoiling the movie at this point.
Right.
And it's not.
And the main thing about this movie is the Kree. Yeah, or the Skrulls, and their whole thing of like we change our appearance to match. So that spoils the whole movie. If they get into any, I think we've only seen, except for that last shot in the first trailer of her like blasting spaceships and flying through space. Yeah. Everything we've seen is in like the first 25 minutes of the movie,
which I'm entirely okay with.
Totally cool. That's how it needs to be. Take a cue X-Men movies.
Hellboy.
Oh. Give me Hellboy. I'm so ready for
Hellboy. Still doing Hellboy?
David Harbour, dude. It's David Harbour.
Oh, okay. Okay. I like it.
Love it. I love David Harbour.
I'm excited for
and it's Tim Miller. No, Tim Miller's doing Terminator.
You might get Detective Pikachu.
Dude, I'm so excited for Detective Pikachu. That first trailer.
I think it's gonna be way different than a lot of people like initially thought it was going to be.
I mean, if Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu, it's not gonna be a regular Pokemon.
Yeah, like I bet everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take my kids to see this." And then
she can't understand me, kid. I'm in. Right after that, I'm in. I will electrocute you. I'm in.
And the fact that he brought out a stapler to defend himself.
Right, yeah. I know how to use this. I heard that's what the game is too.
Your apartment.
I heard that's what the game is that it's like you going to find the father, like the father's lost, and Pokemon go missing because they're like being put. It's almost like the plot of the first game, the first movie, where Pokemon are being turned evil by the Dark Ball, except it's more of like a not a disease, but like they're given like a medicine that like changes them. I'm all in for that. I'm all in for. I love the Pokemon franchise.
They're gonna full Mewtwo it, where they clone all of the Pokemon into evil.
They don't have to clone them. That's the point. It's that same kind of concept, and I'm totally there for that.
Yeah,
it's that same Pokemon story. Like we love it. Like I think the last Pokemon game I played to completion was Black.
Yeah, I haven't played one for.
I never bought a new system after a DS. Like 3D. Yeah. I never bought a 3DS.
Never had the 3DS or anything. The last one
I had 3DS for Monster Hunter. That's the only thing.
I think I got the 3DS for the Kingdom Hearts game, and we can get into that in a second because I've been playing 3 all week.
I think the last I had was Heart Gold, Heart Silver.
That was a good one.
Those are great.
Honestly, I don't think there's ever been like a Pokemon where I just played it and I was like, "This is the most god awful thing I've ever played." Every
Pokemon Emerald is in my top 3 favorite games of all time.
It's one of those like franchises where like it doesn't matter what they do to the franchise if they just keep re-releasing with new Pokemon, or it doesn't even have to be new. They could be reskinned Pokemon, and people will still buy it up.
You know how we'll say like RTS or we'll say like RPG or whatever. I don't know what to call a Pokemon game besides a Pokemon game, and it made its own genre.
Yeah,
and no one.
It's sort of like a mix between like
Diablo and
a turn-based combat, like turn-based combat.
Diablo, Final Fantasy had a child.
Yeah, that's the best thing I could think about.
According to the IGN forums, a Pokemon game is a role-playing game, so it is an RPG.
Okay.
In its essence, but you're definitely right in that it kind of like yes, it's an RPG, but it's not like
It's not like you're
typical
statting up
RPG.
your character. Like,
And it created a genre of fake games. Like, I know you guys know this. Like, when you go on your phone and you search something in it, for God help you, the next 48 hours, you see it on every site.
it's called like
If I
Monster
look for a
Farmer
Pokemon
or-
game, yeah. If I type in a Pokemon game, it's every type of fake Pokemon game you could possibly want to find. And they're doing the same thing, but nobody cares.
Yeah. Pokemon's
Like,
like we
I
have
would
more
rather go
money
get
than,
the
like-
emulator.
Yeah. Pokemon's like we have more money than we know what to do with right now, so
There's literally the Pokemon Company. It's called the Pokemon Company.
yeah.
But, I mean,
There's
I'm there
no
for
way
it.
Yeah, 100%. That is just one franchise that has stood the test of time because Activision hasn't gotten their hands on it yet.
It's true. It's crossed generations.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, Pokemon won't die as long as there's kids in Japan that are constantly like. There are 45-year-old men. There's pictures of 45-year-old men playing their DSs on the train in Tokyo.
Yeah,
like that's what they were for. They're like DSs.
There's people at work that play Pokemon Go still, and I'm like, the game kind of died out for me, but like they still.
Good for you that you still play it.
Yeah,
Like,
more power to them. I've never been like I played it for a while, like when I was in Colombia for college, but like after I like moved back, it was just like I live in the middle of nowhere, so.
Yeah. The nearest Pokestop is your Sprint store. And you're like, gee, thanks. And then that's kind of like, I mean, July will kind of run out like probably the length of, because we're not going to get a Star Wars trailer. Like, Star Wars Celebration is in April, and that they're going to follow the same releases as the last one.
Good part about being a superhero fan plus being an anime fan, I get like these gaps where like superhero stuff will like stall out, but like anime will pick up. So like I know One Punch Man, which is one of like my favorite anime, and
I love it.
It's really easy to get into if you guys are ever looking for one that's just like simple, just like all it is cool fights. That is the anime I would recommend.
It is really like interesting concept. If they like the character study on the main character is super interesting, where it's like nobody is good enough to fight me. And I am the strongest person ever. Like,
exactly.
But nobody can beat me.
And he has like literally the worst costume of any like superhero. Like he has like
it's
rubber
like
red
made
boots.
a Shazam costume at Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he robbed the cleaning lady of all of like her like protective equipment that she would have. Exactly. And put on a yellow suit.
And not that he needs any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So we'll move on for the trailers, Super Bowl. That'll be fun. All that. I've played so much Kingdom Hearts 3 this week. I've waited 14 years for this week. I'm so excited.
See, I've played Dark Souls 3. It's too easy for me to enjoy at this point. I've become like a masochist when it comes to those types of games after Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls kind of was like it aged with Kingdom Hearts fans.
It changes with you. It just changes you forever.
But the story, like the worlds, like they kind of tackle the same things they did in the beginning, where like I sat like the Tangled world. You basically play through Tangled, the movie. Frozen. I'm playing through the Frozen movie right now. But Toy Story was an original story. Monsters Inc. was an original story.
I'm good with that.
They're throwing in the new stuff with the old stuff, and they're making it new. Like they didn't go and Bonnie is the new girl that all the toys live with at the end of Toy Story 3. They didn't do it in Bonnie's room or anything like that. You started in Andy's room, like I was fighting Heartless on Andy's bed, on the Buzz Lightyear sleep comforter. You know, like it was awesome. And the graphics, like Michael and I talked about this earlier, like
I've heard they're really, really gorgeous.
The cutscenes used to be like chat bubbles would show up, and you'd have to click through the chat bubbles. There has been not a single chat bubble in the entire game. It's all fleshed out cinematics. Cinematics, thank you. I wanted to say cinematographics. No, cinematics. Yeah, everything's fleshed out. Like the only characters that aren't their original voice actors are Woody and Buzz, but like I'm kind of okay with that.
Well, I mean, it'd be a little expensive to get Tim Allen
Really
and Tom Hanks to record a bunch
Ironically
of
enough,
voice
the guy that
lines.
did Woody, his last name is Hanks. I was like, wait, really? I looked it up because I was like, I knew you aren't I know you guys aren't the real ones, but everybody else was. All the Frozen people. I mean, they redid Let It Go, and it was beautiful.
See, the thing is, I game share with one of my friends on Xbox, and I actually have KH3, and I just haven't downloaded it.
It's only 35 gigs.
Only 35 gigs.
What? Dude, I downloaded Black Ops 4 just for the trial, and it was 95 gigs.
Yeah.
So, comparing it to most like blockbuster games nowadays, it's actually it's actually not too bad.
That Anthem, the Anthem Alpha was like 50 gigs.
What do you think about that? Did you play that?
We played the alpha, and the controls in the alpha were like really bad.
So
because I know the beta's out right now.
The beta's out. I haven't tried the beta yet because I don't have Origin access anymore. I'd have to renew that. But I've heard that if you use a controller,
it shores up all the issues.
The flight controls get a lot easier. Because like the issue is flying and swimming. Like none of the gunplay was bad. It was purely flying and swimming.
Problems like that just make me respect Epic and what they're doing with Fortnite like even more. Like a game where like you can be truly competitive. Like I'll play with one of my friends and we'll do duos, and he plays on PC. So they've guaranteed it. The way those servers work, that every time we match up, we're matching up with Xbox and a PC duo partner. Like there's no, or at least a console controller and whatever.
The good part about like Fortnite though is like it's so popular they can do things like that.
Right.
Like if it was a game like PUBG or something like that, that's where the cross-platform would really go into issues.
Right.
Because like I don't think they have the player base for doing
not only do they
like
not have the player base, but that I don't like the game.
It doesn't function.
It's more the building aspect of Fortnite that makes it approachable from both sides and makes it like Halo hit off on the Xbox. You can play Halo on the PC, but nobody plays pro Halo on the PC. Fortnite's like that first game where guys are like, yeah, I play on the controller. Yeah, I play on PC. Yeah, I play on the controller. Like Nick Merckx can go in and like have a fair shot playing against some PC players.
Yeah. And the cool part about it is Fortnite, like Epic Games, like in general, has kind of built into like the aspect of, yes, we know you're at a disadvantage, but we're going to build tools and systems that kind of help out like control, like the Builder Pro, like
that's what I use,
controller layouts and stuff like that they've built into the game, something that like most companies don't do. Like they'll just be like, okay, if you want to play on a controller, I mean that's just your decision, and you won't be competitive.
You can yourself. Good luck, kid.
Yeah, yeah. They just kind of leave you there, like, good luck, bud.
But well, speaking of Fortnite, yesterday was crazy. So if you're sleeping under a rock, you'd know that Marshmello did a live concert in Fortnite.
I heard something about that.
It was absolutely insane. So the first one was at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I partied up with a couple friends who live in Arizona. One was in Sacramento. And so the format was at 1:40, they shut down all game servers that were not this show mode, like Showtime mode.
Nice.
And so everybody dropped in, and it was essentially this Rumble mode that they use where it's like team deathmatch, but not really team deathmatch. It's like first to a certain amount of kills. And they set the kill limit to 200. And we got in at 1:40, and our first game finished. Like, we got to the kill limit, so we had to restart another one.
Yeah.
Got in, everybody was cool. And then the show started. All your guns went away. You couldn't use a gun. They made it so
disco grenades.
You couldn't use anything. It was awesome. And the whole thing took place at Pleasant Park. Throughout the week, they were constructing the whole thing. Every 12 hours, the construction layout would change. It would get bigger. It showed up at the beginning of the week with just like flatbed trucks with steel on it, so you could go mine all the steel. And then it progressively got bigger and bigger and turned into a venue. And then Marshmallow came out at 2:00 and played for 15 minutes, and it was this whole live set that he constructed. They he has this one song called "Fly." He was like, "I want you guys to fly with me," and everybody like flew up in the air, and you could actually fly. Like they changed the gravity rules that you could actually like fly up in the air, like it was creative mode.
Like when you were like Thanos, kind of like
yeah,
Thanos.
Like you could actually fly. Yeah, it was just using that, and it was awesome. Like it was a really cool thing to be a part of.
That is one thing. I'm not a Fortnite player. I never have been. I've never really liked the game. I never really got into it. But I have to respect the hell out of like Epic Games just in general. They easily
NFL.
Easily they are the best. Like they're the best dev out right now.
It's what I wish Overwatch would have done. I saw this plan for Overwatch where it could have been this cross-media like thing where you could have like an Overwatch TV show because they were making those shorts. You know, at least something to push you out on other platforms.
When I look at it, I just look at Blizzard letting Activision run their company into the ground.
It's been
every single one of their franchises has gone on. No, even World of Warcraft has gone on a hard slant downward. Like the newest expansion for World of Warcraft is at Warlords of Draenor level subs, which is abysmal.
Which is sad that it's at that level subs, but the content they're putting out is at like Wrath content, and nobody cares about it.
Well, it's because of their systems. Their systems are just
repetitive
design.
Super repetitive. What was it, Michael, in Legion? It was the artifact power.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in this one, it's like some other thing, but it's the same thing. Like it's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
It put a different skin on it. You didn't actually do anything. And I'm still waiting for my dance studio mode from the original World of Warcraft box.
Yeah. The thing is, like with the current Azerite power, which is like their big like thing they've pushed into.
Right, Azerite power.
You have to get it for every single piece of armor.
Right.
And you have to farm RNG stats on it.
That's
so like at
bullshit.
least with artifact power, I think honestly once they did like the artifact unleash portion of Legion where you got 100 billion like artifact power and you maxed your artifact
point where
out.
Blizzard realizes that every 3 years, oh shit, we gotta squish.
Like they like once they did that, I think the game was honestly in one of the most fun states that I've had since like Wrath of the Lich King.
It's like Diablo 3. When you get to the end, if you've been playing Diablo 3 since now and you're just running around, you're critting for like 1 billion, and you're like, yeah, take that.
Like the stat nerf that they did for the pre-patch for their newest X-Pack, which was totally fine. Like it took you a little bit longer to do content because of like stat squishing, and you weren't critting for 1 million if you ran crit haste, but like the game, they've just absolutely destroyed it. But the lore of like the new stuff is 100% like some of the best lore that I've seen since Wrath of the Lich King. Like
exactly, that's what I'm talking about because I don't play anymore. I haven't really played since the beginning of Legion.
Yeah,
and I watch all the cinematics. I still listen to my favorite World of Warcraft podcast.
Like Jaina. Jaina Proudmoore's
the craziest character in the history of the franchise.
When she brought that mage ghost ship out with all the arcane cannons on the side,
done.
It was over. Like that.
You don't even play the game, and I'm done.
Yeah, I like it was over. Like there's no way you're topping that. Like and I've always been an Alliance player. So like when Variant Stormwind died, I got really sad. I was like, well, who's supposed to take up? But like now Arthas and Jaina, they're like kind of filling in the gaps of where like Varian Stormwind like was.
Right.
And then you have like they're making sort of like a Varian character. Yeah, Anduin.
Anduin's a pussy, bro.
Dude, that holy light that he brought down in the opening cinematic is insane.
Yeah, and the whole mass resing in combat.
Mass everyone.
Sylvanas burned down the tree, man.
Dude, listen, Sylvanas is Hitler incarnate. All right,
She literally is Hitler. It's awesome.
she
Like,
is,
she is like,
she is
this
the
man was,
worst.
like, just chilling with her in the back.
Who was the guy that acts as Malfurion in Darnassus? I can't remember his name. It was one of the orcs.
Yeah. He was possessed.
It's not Garrosh because Garrosh is dead. I can't remember his name right now, but they're making him into like a character I can really enjoy.
Oh,
like,
you're talking about the
the guy that gets locked up.
Yeah, crap.
I can't remember his name right now. He was one of the leaders of the Horde.
Oh, no, man.
He was in the running for War Chief of the Horde too. I just can't remember his name right now.
I'll find it. Yeah, but you're right. Like they ran the whole thing.
I really like him as a character. He's 100% my favorite like Horde character currently. That and Sparky Boy.
Sparky Boy, a little shaman guy.
Yeah, that.
Oh, the Rock.
Sourfang. That's who it is. He is easily like the most respectable guy in the Horde right now.
He is the Horde. Like when people were talking about like Sylvanas isn't the Horde. Exactly, Sylvanas is not the Horde.
She's definitely the Scourge.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. So I thought it'd be cool, man, if they just gave the Scourge their own
faction.
You know, give them their own faction. Just let everybody be undead over there. If you want to be an undead Blood Elf Pally, go be an undead Blood Elf Pally, but go be Scourgy over there. Don't infect my Horde with your Scourginess and your mass genocide.
The weird part is they made like whole areas that were technically for the Scourge, because technically Death Knights are Scourge.
Right.
And they made like this whole area that was just sort of like that's their thing, and they never really went anywhere with it. It's like we can only have Alliance and Horde. Like
that opening Death Knight realm was fun. It was definitely the most fun I had, like doing leveling.
Any leveling, yeah.
Yeah, had story too.
Except for maybe Pandaland. I really like the
Pandaland. Well, Pandaland was like the evolution of that, so it was cool. Like, you know, the first time we got it, we were like, "Oh, I'm level 55. Oh my god!" You know, like I'm starting out 55. Everything's gonna be fine. And pandas were. I love the pandas.
I love all the artwork and like game designs that came during pandas. Like everybody hates like how easy it was, but like I really enjoyed the game design. It didn't like it had hardcore things for like the hardcore like grinders, but it also had a lot of casual stuff that people that play like maybe 2 or 3 hours like a day could actually do, not the people that stream it and like play for 12 hours a day.
He gave us the best Lore Walker Cho lines. The Monkey King, the way. Lore Walker Cho is the best.
And all the dungeons were really fun too. Like when you had to chase down the giant rabbit with the carrot.
Oh,
that was it was so silly, but it was so fun.
Most of that expansion was silly, but fun. And then you got to the serious stuff, and then it was okay. You got to the end of it, and it was okay. What else is going on, Michael? What were you talking about earlier? You can't buy a Big Mac and a.
Yeah, so this is a cool news story that came out. There apparently the trademark for Big Mac has been pretty much revoked in the country of Sweden due to a man who owns a burger chain called Super Mac, and he actually won the trademark patent battle, like the trademark battle over Big Mac in Sweden. And the best part about it, though, is now that Big Mac is no longer trademarked in Sweden, places like Burger King and stuff are just like bashing the hell out of it anywhere they can. There's a picture on Reddit, which Colin might be able to pull up and show. I'm not sure if you can pull up and show that or not, but it's their actual menu in a store, and they're just mocking the Big Mac. But the whole thing comes about because apparently McDonald's trademarked Big Mac not only as a name, but as a location. And the way the guy won the lawsuit is that there's no Big Mac locations in Sweden, right? There's not even like McDonald's really in Sweden too much. So he argued that there's no Big Mac in Sweden. Yeah, there you go. There's the picture.
Big Mac.
So for 89, whatever the currency is in Sweden, you can get like a Big Mac, but actually big. for 93, you get Burger Big Mac Wished It Was. For 69 cents, you get the kind of like a Big Mac, but juicier and tastier. And then for 78, you get Big Mac-ish, but flame grilled, of course.
Yeah.
Michael, you walk into here. Which one of these are you getting?
Dude, I'm personally looking at the burger the Big Mac wished it was. I don't know. That one just seems to have the ring to me right there.
It looks like a Big Mac. It's got the two patties.
It does.
It does look strangely like a Big Mac, but it's not a Big Mac.
It looks Big Mac-ish, you could say. Ridiculous.
So yeah, but this guy, the way it was is, essentially McDonald's with their patent way back, or their trademark, stopped the Irish chains, which Supermax is Irish, but this all happened in Sweden, from expanding into Europe because people might get confused when a Supermac restaurant opens up next to a Big Mac restaurant, right? So then in the courts, they claim that there's no restaurants called Big Mac anywhere, so that they're not, they lied about how they're using their trademark, which is how they won the court case. Because they trademarked it as a location and like the actual naming convention, Big Mac. So now the only reason Burger King can do that now there is because they won the trademark battle. Anybody there could now open a restaurant called Big Macs and serve Big Macs because it's no longer.
So like we could name this podcast the official Washington Redskins podcast.
Yeah. if the same logic applies,
the podcast the Washington Redskins wish they were.
Yeah.
We're Washington Redskins-ish.
Yes, yeah. So one thing, and we can probably hop out of here, guys. Ben Affleck isn't Batman anymore.
Too much drugs and alcohol. Couldn't have that for Batman.
I need Matt Reeves to make this Batman movie. I don't know about you guys, but I love those Planet of the Apes movies, especially the last two, which he made.
Yeah, I've enjoyed all of the new Planet of the Apes movies. I think they're all good.
They're all really good. And he wants to make Batman Detective Noir, take it back, make it like the Arkham games, and that's what I need. I want that, man. I need we kind of got it in The Dark Knight, like when
Christopher
Steve Bruce messing with the bullet casing and stuff, and he starts like recreating the bullets and stuff like that. Like that's the closest we ever got to it in those movies. And God forbid there was any detective stuff in George Clooney, Val Kilmer, or Michael Keaton Batman stuff. That was all about Pecs.
That was all about Mr. Freeze
and Poison Ivy and Catwoman,
the Penguin.
Right.
They had some good villains in that for sure.
I'm of the opinion, guys. I kind of want an unknown. I don't want any baggage with Batman
I heard there's
anymore.
some guy named Christian Bale that could probably do it.
No, man. Matt Reeves wants young Batman. I want young.
I want Chris Evans Batman.
No.
Chris Evans with dark hair, man.
That's all the baggage.
That's dark Chris Evans, man. Or Robert Downey Jr. He'd be a good Batman.
But he's already Iron Man, bro. You can't cross realm like
Contract's up. Contract's up, buddy.
That contract will last.
I mean, I guess forever. Tom Hardy was Venom and Bane.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was like a 10-year gap, though. It was like almost 10 years.
Pretty
like
long,
9 years.
It's a pretty long gap.
Bro,
and let's be real here. Those Venom movies were god-awful. Or at least the one that has come out so far.
It was entertaining to watch, but they got a little carried away with the humor on some parts of it.
I don't understand why you try and make Venom the funny one when Carnage was like much more humorous, like overall as like a character. Venom was like the dark and edgy like emo symbiote, where like Carnage was like more like a Deadpool-y type symbiote. Like I don't understand why they tried to push that envelope of comedy so hard in the movie.
Yeah, but I thought it was an entertaining movie.
Yeah,
I hope they get a new screenwriter for the next movie.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I can see why it got
or just don't make another movie.
Or just don't make another movie.
Yeah, they already signed him up for 3 though. I think there's gonna be three movies.
Great job, Tom. Go back to Peaky Blinders. Please make another season of Peaky Blinders. Don't make
or make a Lawless redo. That was actually a really good movie.
Yep, that'd be good. I'd love to see just somebody I don't know as Batman.
See, the problem is like there's not like that many actors nowadays that are like just unknowns, right? Everybody's
no. I mean, you can do a worldwide casting search and find an unknown in a heartbeat. But I really don't want a Ben Affleck situation again, where it's like, holy shit, Ben Affleck is Batman. Like,
yeah,
he was a top 15 movie star. And there's so much baggage, and he was old. Like, if you're going to do old, maybe a Batman Beyond movie, then you bring Christian Bale back. Bring Christian Bale back, and it's Batman Beyond. I would
100%. That'd be sick, dude.
Or Michael Keaton. You want to bring Michael Keaton back? Make him that Batman. Make him that Bruce Wayne. Just make him all old and grumpy. He could just be Birdman, Michael Keaton, and just give me what's the guy? Steven Yeun, who played the guy that Glenn on The Walking Dead. Make him Terry McGinnis. Let's go. Boom.
Terry McGinnis wasn't an Asian guy, though.
Was he really white, though? Let me pull up a picture of Terry McGinnis and you tell me what his ethnicity is.
I don't know. I feel like he might have been mixed. That's for sure. Like,
so Terry McGinnis can be whoever he was. But McGinnis is a very white name. I'll give you that. McGinnis is extremely Irish, but he didn't look Irish either.
No, he did not. But I would totally be down for a Batman Begins movie. Or like a Batman Beyond movie that was what was his name? I can't remember his name right now. They need to make a Robin or a Nighthawk movie with
Nightwing.
Nightwing with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I think they're doing that right now on Titans. Titans is really good. I watched the first season and it's really good.
But it doesn't have your boy Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, but he's not Nightwing. Is he an acrobat? Like, if I see Nightwing, I need the person who plays Nightwing to be like a Tom Holland level acrobat and actually be able to do that stuff. Because he's like, I need to believe that he was a kid, he was a flying Grayson. Like, I need to know. Yeah.
That would be a cool crossover movie. Deadpool, Spider-Man.
What if they made Batman Beyond, but instead it was like Spider-Verse?
That'd be interesting.
Animated, that future world.
100%. Or they made like a live-action Samurai Jack.
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
I don't even know if you could touch Samurai Jack, man. I don't know if you should touch Samurai Jack.
See, that's the real problem. I think
that it would look like Alita. It would look like Alita. The only way you can make it would end up looking like Alita, and I don't know if I want that. Because I've read Alita, and I don't know, and I don't want to see that movie.
All the grimdark future movies, it's really hard to make like that. Like, it's not really post-apocalyptic, but like they have like the really like edgy Blade Runner type like
noir
society. Yeah,
right.
Colin, here's a name I'm going to throw out for Batman. Richard Madden, who played Robb Stark.
Don't. I saw that this week, and I was like,
the only reason they can't get the guy who played Ned Stark is because he dies in every movie that he's ever been in.
He's also too old for it, but... Poor Boromir, bro.
Boromir dies everywhere, dude.
Justice for Boromir.
Hey, he was asking for it.
Hey, Boromir plays a very important part of Return of the King. Do not forget.
He does.
Faramir would be dead if it weren't for Boromir being dead.
Yeah. Oh, I really enjoyed those movies. There's not been
another Amazon show they're coming out with.
There's not been another like movie franchise that has just given me like the Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Just
the Marvel Cinematic Universe, definitely. That's it.
But like that's kind of old. Like at this point, like they've done so many of them, it doesn't feel like it's new anymore.
Well, I think that's what they're going to try to do is switch it all up. You get rid of all the characters you think you know.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some definite like
if they drop if they bring the Illuminati into, and by Illuminati I mean the Marvel Illuminati, not the Illuminati.
It's not it's not Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, not that one. But that would be insane, because the idea is that like the world, something crazy in the world, something happens that's so crazy that the strongest heroes need to make this secret organization where they pretty much dictate how the world works.
Yeah.
And it's
really
Reed Richards, it's Iron Man, it's Black Panther, it's like I think it's Emma Frost. Like, it's a weird collection of heroes and villains, but it's like, oh man, if they brought that into the movies, especially with all the Fox characters they have now.
I'm super interested if they can make a real good Sinister Six movie with where it's a Spider-Man fighting the Sinister Six.
You make Spider-Man the villain.
Like when you had like Kingpin from. They need to get Vincent D'Onofrio to play Kingpin.
If they get 100%. Vincent D'Onofrio in his Kingpin in anything, I'll watch anything, because
they need to make a movie of basically the 90s Spider-Man show. Yeah, exactly. They had such a good. Everything was good in that show. Like, it showed that's
my Venom story. When I think of the Venom story of JJ's son being the astronaut crashing into the river and everything, that's my idea of how Venom happens.
Full Eddie Brock, like,
right.
Venom.
That's Eddie Brock, not Topher Grace.
Grace.
The body type though is perfect for Tom Hardy. Like, that's Eddie Brock, like the kind of he's kind of out of touch, brooding kind of guy who doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, 100%.
But Tom Hardy's beautiful, and he would have friends.
Like, Tom Hardy was, I think,
it's like Andrew Garfield problems. Like, when you look at Andrew Garfield, you're like, you're too pretty to be Peter Parker. Girls find you attractive.
He's not the nerdy.
Right. You're not that nerdy. Just because you put some glasses on, Andrew, doesn't make you a nerd.
Yeah, just because you're messing around with batteries in your garage does not.
You had abs before you started as Spider-Man, bro. The idea is that we believed that Tobey Maguire did not have abs. That passed. Like, Tobey was a fine Peter Parker. He was a terrible Spider-Man. Yeah. Andrew Garfield was a terrible Peter Parker, but was a great Spider-Man. Put those two together, and we got Tom Holland.
That's true. 100%. I agree.
Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man because he truly believes that homework is more important than saving the world.
I think Jamie Foxx, though, does need to make a comeback as Electro. That he was honestly the best part of that movie.
He was in a whole other movie, dude.
That movie was actually so good with him.
He was in a whole other film. Whenever everybody in that movie showed up to the film, he showed up for like the Shakespearean version of it. And he was just out acting everybody. And everybody was just didn't even care that they were making a movie.
Yeah, it was just so good. He just fit the role so well. Like, I don't know how a man that just has that, like, you know, swagger about him can do like super nerd. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. But
he channeled that role in the violinist movie that he was in, the cello player.
The
soloist. Yeah, the soloist. He like channeled that character, but then made it a villain.
Yeah,
and how like shy he was, and you're right. He was okay. Yeah.
I really enjoyed Electro. I think that there's been a lot of like villains that are not going to ever get used again, like Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, which really makes me cry because it was so good.
He could show up in The Punisher season 3 if they make a 3rd season, but I'm still waiting for them to announce that The Punisher is being canceled.
Yeah, after the 2nd season, honestly, I don't really want to see another Punisher.
I've watched 4 episodes of the 2nd season.
Most of it has been pretty mediocre so far. I've gotten to the part where like Jigsaw is there, but that's about it.
Yeah, Jigsaw is still in the hospital where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm still on that part.
Okay,
yeah.
I like him though. I like he plays
it pretty well.
He's from Westworld. Last time I'm like, oh man, last time I saw this guy on Westworld, he was naked tied to a horse. On with you.
Yeah, Westworld. I still got.
What if we got a Westworld trailer?
I still got to finish season 2 of that.
You haven't finished season 2, dude?
No, dude. I started it up and then I just haven't finished it.
Michael,
I know,
dude. That last episode is some. Yeah, your last name's Nolan, dude.
I want the Westworld theme as like my doorbell or something.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, like that's what I want. That is like the perfect.
And then as you're walking to the door, boom, 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 boom. Oh, so good. Surprised they didn't get Hans Zimmer to do that. Actually, they didn't just call in Hans. Be like, hey man, I know you work for my brother, but come on, do me a solid.
I just need a little bit of work. Come on.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Did you hear about anything else this week that was
cool? This week that was cool. Some lady in Chicago put a whole bunch of homeless people up in hotels during the polar vortex.
What's up?
Did you see the
Okay.
Did you see the post of what was it? What was it? It was the wait, how do I unmute? Oh, okay, it's over here. The story about the person who their toilet bowl shattered.
Oh, because it froze and the ice broke. Yeah, dude, that's nutty. Like, can you imagine? Like, you just hear an explosion in your bathroom and you like wake up to that. You're like, what the heck?
Dude, no, it's like that time you called me and you were like, these bottles exploded in my room, and I was like, what?
Oh yeah, dude, that was when I had the soda bottles that
the soda bottles in your room. You're like, I made soda. I was like, cool. And then it exploded in your room.
Blew up in my room. There was glass everywhere, bro.
I wish I could have had a camera in Ryan Oxendine's bedroom when it went off.
He was actually downstairs watching TV when it went off. I actually went downstairs and I was like, did you guys hear that? And they're like, what are you talking about? It's like, you didn't hear that?
You didn't hear the gunshots upstairs?
Right.
Man. Well, I think that'll wrap it up. I'd like to thank Ben. I think he checked out for a second, but that's the premiere of Did You Hear Blank? Michael can find you where on the internet?
Everywhere, places of Chunky Taco, Twitter, Instagram. Facebook's probably my actual name, Michael Kinslow. I don't think it's Chunky Taco. Twitch.tv, any of that. I might want to change it. I don't know. LinkedIn is my own name. That's definitely not Chunky Taco.
Definitely not. But you can find me at _C Morris. Check back, share this video. Ben's back. Ben, say bye before we head out.
Ben, where can the fine people find you on the interwebs?
On the interwebs?
Yeah, where can they find you?
What's your
Twitch.tv/the Dead Dorito.
Oh, there we go.
What about Twitter?
Dead Dorito everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got all that stuff.
Pretty sure it's just the Dead Dorito on everything.
Well, that'll do it, folks. We might come back for the show. We might not. We'll find out. You'll find out.
So, Colin, when are we making an LCS show?
Well,
we got to do the meta. We got to do the meta again.
Yeah, we got to bring it back.
We got to bring it back.
We got to do like half that, half Overwatch League, because I'm definitely watching the Overwatch League.
I'm down.
Like
have they started the new season yet?
No, it starts this month. They added like 6 teams.
I'm ready for it.
It's awesome. Atlanta, Washington, Vancouver, Toronto.
That's the only thing that Blizzard's doing right is the Overwatch League. So may as well watch it.
I hope. Well, dope. Thanks to all the 2 people that hung out in the chat. Could have been Michael and Ben the whole time. Who knows? We might. You won't. Thanks, everybody. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe down below. Check us out. Consistently consistent. Popping off probably Monday night for a Super Bowl recap. And as always, make sure to check out the latest episodes of Fast Breaks and Hot Takes on Spotify, iTunes, Instagram. I'm at the _C Morris. Follow all the links in my Instagram bio to all the things me. Yeah, sure. We're not sponsored by Cloud9, but sure, give them some love. Cool. Check out the Super Bowl tonight. Everybody enjoy, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Deuces.